Hi there, and welcome to The Daily Gardener, an almanac of garden history, literature, and small botanical joys. I'm Jennifer Ebling, and today is January 21st. This is the season when gardeners live a little more in the imagination. Watching winter light move across bare branches, noticing the architecture of trees, and making plans we can't quite act on yet. So today, I want to honor two men who worked quietly, not as household names, but as people who clearly loved the natural world. They served it with patience, with consistency, with craft. Here's today's garden history. It was on this day in 1846 that Charles Edward Faxon was born in Massachusetts. And if you've ever fallen in love with a botanical book because of its illustrations, there's a good chance you understand his gift immediately. Faxon trained as a civil engineer, but plants pulled him in. He taught botany and eventually joined the Arnold Arboretum in Jamaica Plain, where he helped develop the herbarium and the library. And then there's the work he's best remembered for, drawing. Faxon had that rare combination, an artist's eye, a botanist's discipline, and the patience to sit with a specimen until the truth of it came through. Leaves, flowers, fruit, seed, the parts that matter when you're trying to really know a tree. Faxon illustrated major works with Charles Sprague Sargent, including the great tree books that helped Americans recognize their own forests. Hundreds and hundreds of drawings, not decorative, but instructive. The kind of art that teaches you how to see. And I love this about Faxon. He didn't chase the spotlight. He served the work. He served the collection, and he served the record. If you've ever pressed a leaf into a book, labeled a seed packet carefully, or taken a photo just so you'll remember what it looked like, you're in the same tradition. And it was on this day, in 1913, that William Roy Genders was born. And he's one of those delightfully English figures who lived more than one life. As a young man, he played first-class cricket after the war. And then alongside that, he wrote extensively about gardening. Roy Genders had a knack for titles that make gardeners smile. Soft Fruit, The Epicure's Garden, books on mushrooms, fruit, scent, old-fashioned flowers, even the kind of practical, homely topics that tell you he wasn't writing from a pedestal. He was writing from experience. And one detail I especially love about him in his book, The Scented Wildflowers of Britain, he included a dedication, simple, steady, and telling, to the memory of my parents. Not a flashy thing. It's a gardener thing, a lineage thing, a quiet acknowledgement that what we love is often inherited. Roy Genders wrote with the curiosity of someone who didn't just want to grow plants. He wanted to understand them, their scent, their habits, their history, their usefulness. Charles Faxon drew plants so people could recognize them. Roy Genders described plants so people could live with them. Two different kinds of devotion, same root. In today's Unearthed Words, we hear an excerpt from Christian Dior. After women, flowers are the most divine creatures. And whatever you think of fashion, that sentence is pure gardener. Because if you've ever stood in a winter garden and remembered the roses, or opened a seed catalog like it was a devotional, you know what he meant. It's time to grow that garden library with today's book, A Year of Garden-Inspired Living, Season by Season, by Linda Vader, published October 21st, 2025. This is a book for gardeners who want to live seasonally, even when the garden is quiet. And it's full of ideas for bringing the feeling of the garden into daily life through the year. It's the kind of winter reading that doesn't make you feel behind. It makes you feel accompanied. And finally, here's something sweet to ignite the little botanic spark in your heart. It is on this day, January 21st, that we mark Squirrel Appreciation Day. And if you want to see the squirrel as a fellow gardener, you can. Planting trees, one forgotten nut at a time. So let's end this segment with Emily Dickinson's poem, The Squirrel. Whiskey, frisky, hippity-hop, up he goes to the treetop. Whirly-twirly, round and round, down he scampers to the ground. Furly-curly, what a tail, tall as a feather, broad as a sail. Now, before I read the last part, there's something worth noticing here. Emily Dickinson understood something simple, and so do squirrels, by the way, that not everything that looks promising is worth the effort. A seed can be empty. A nut can be hollow. What matters is what's inside, the marrow, the substance, the curiosity, the integrity. Squirrels are more discerning than we give them credit for. They test, they choose, and they move on if there's nothing there. We would do well to do the same. And with that in mind, here's how Emily Dickinson ends the poem. Experiment to me is every one I meet. If it contain a kernel, the figure of a nut presents upon a tree equally plausibly. But meat within is requisite to squirrels and to me. Squirrels, it turns out, are not careless gatherers. They are selective, and they know what sustains them. And perhaps that's one of the quiet lessons the garden keeps offering us again and again. As we close the show today, wherever you are, whatever season you're in, may you find something today worth tending. And remember, for a happy, healthy life, garden every day.